always stay connected and up to date. But if that's not fast enough, we offer even faster, with the latest technology to make sure you're getting the most out of your service. Give us a call today or check out tgtel.com for more information. Thacker Grigsby, bringing the future to Eastern Kentucky.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with the click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Hi, I'm attorney David Johnson. You may recognize me from some of our other ads, but injuries from an auto accident are no joking matter. With over 25 years of experience, our offices have the resources and expertise to go head to head with big insurance. While most of our cases get resolved without going to court, trust me, they know if the attorney you choose will take it this far. Either way, our clients get paid. So for all your legal needs, get the pros on your side.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At HCTC, you're more than just a student.
I am motivated.
I am retired.
I am a grandmother.
I am a veteran. I am an entrepreneur. I am a son.
I am a small business owner.
I am HCTC.
Home sweet home. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we've been providing our friends and neighbors the sweet dream of homeownership since 1960. We're proud to support the community we work and live in. That's why we take so much pride in providing competitive rates, low closing costs, and quick turnaround by local decision makers. Investing and growing our community is what we do. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we believe that there's no place like our home. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Just want to watch the game.
That turn on the ceiling fan. Use the gray remote. Hit power, then input.
It's not working.
That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
Welcome to the Morton Combs Athletic Complex, as Harold used to say, for a great night of volleyball I am Katie Sloan here with my new volleyball partner in crime for the night, Betty Vaughn Cottle. How are you doing tonight, Betty Vaughn?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to be here as well. I hate that I have to come and commentate tonight without, it's okay. I hate that we have to come tonight without Harold. It hurts my heart to not have him here, but I'm very glad that you decided to participate with us. Me and Josh had talked about getting you in some last season even before everything had happened, and I'm definitely glad to hear you commentate on everything because I know you've got way more experience than I have. You've coached a really long time. You've always had great teams that always beat us in high school, so I know how skilled you are in volleyball, and I can't wait to see what the girls got tonight. It should be a pretty good game, Wolfe County and Knott County. They're pretty tied out so far in the season. Wolfe is 6-1 in wins, and Knott is 6-2. So I think we'll have a pretty good game tonight, Betty Vaughn. What do you think?
I agree, and also you're talking about two very experienced coaches that are disciplined. So you're going to see two very disciplined volleyball teams that really plays the sport of volleyball.
Right. Ben White, he is a character, to say the least. He always has a great team. His girls play a lot of travel ball. They practice a lot. They do a lot of workouts. I think I've even seen them. They've got social media pages on Instagram that they do little things and tricks and stuff. I mean, they're really talented. A lot of them are. And Knott Central coach Beth Justice just recently stepped down. Love Beth. She was the best coach I've ever had, hands down. Loved her in high school. She's always done a great job with the girls. And now she's handed it off to Shay Cornett for a while. Shay is also the best. I play with her every Sportsplex season. Love playing with her up there. Another one of my favorite coaches. And I'm very excited to see what she does with the Patriots.
Exactly. I'm sad to see Beth step down. She worked with me for a couple of years. She was like me, very knowledgeable about the game and loved the sport and the girls.
Are we going to do a flag? Okay, so we'll be right back after a short break.
Some may see you as victims, and no doubt you have lost much and endured even more. But we at KRCC see you as the strong and resilient survivors that you are, and our team stands ready side by side with you as you rebuild your lives and we help rebuild the communities that we all hold so dear. If you need our help, please call KRCC at 1-800-262-7491 or stop by any KRCC location and ask for help. KRCC cares.
When it comes to your family's health care, making the right connection is easy with just a call, click, or visit to one of Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation's clinics serving Eastern Kentucky and Southwest Virginia. Our providers cover the full spectrum of medicine for the whole family, as well as specialty and support services such as pulmonary, optometry, dentistry, and podiatry, plus on-site labs, x-rays, nutritionist, and more. Call today for an appointment or telehealth visit. Now accepting Virginia Medicaid. Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation.
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
I was born and raised in Leslie County, and now I live and maintain my law practice in Hazard.
I came back home to the mountains to fight for mountain people. At Wilder and Mosley Injury Law, we love our communities and the people that live in them.
We want you to know that you have two attorneys fighting for you as hard as they possibly can that grew up in the communities and work in the communities that you're from.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, a slip and fall, or by an act of negligence, call us at Wilder and Mosley Injury Law. We are East Kentucky's trial team.
Are you ready for a new school year? What better way to start a new school year off right than with a new device on the network that keeps our students and teachers connected? Appalachian Wireless. Whether you need a new smartphone, wearable, or an iPad, we have your back-to-school solution. Visit AppalachianWireless.com or go into one of our 26 retail locations for our back-to-school deals that'll help you show up and show out this school year. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Okay, we are back from the short break for the national anthem. You'll have to overlook me tonight. I'm usually the co-pilot in this situation, but tonight I'm the head pilot, and Betty Vaughn's my co-pilot. This is her first time with us, already doing a great job, way better than I done whenever I was first on here. So you'll just have to overlook us tonight as we get used to everything back in the pattern of how we normally do things, and me forgetting that we go on break for the national anthem. Have to remember that next time.
We'll make it because we're both great big volleyball fans.
Yep, that's all we need to know. We just need to know the sport.
Exactly.
The girls like to have it very dramatic when they come out, smoke machine and all.
And I just want to say to these people that are listening and watching on TV, you really don't understand how much time these girls put into this game. There is a lot of time and energy put into this for these girls who really love the game of volleyball.
So much time. I know when I was a senior especially, I was in here year-round. In the summer, I was in here 6 a.m., and then I was in here whatever time I could get in between basketball practices, just trying to work on things that I knew needed worked on, get in the ice bath, get in the weight room. A lot of these girls do similar things. They work out as much as possible.
Exactly. And like I said, people don't realize how much this sport has grown in this region since I've been coaching 28 years. I coached 28 years. The sport has really grown. You're beginning to get coaches that are buying into the program of volleyball. You have girls that's getting scholarships to play volleyball in college that pays for their education, and they're doing something they love to do.
Right, and I'm sure, like you said, you've been doing this, or you've been coaching 28 years, so you've seen a lot of growth.
Yes.
I've seen the growth, and I only played 8 years, and then I've been participating in events like this since I've been out of high school, which I think has been like 5, 6, I don't know how many years. And I've seen it grow so much just since I've been in high school, and I was in grade school. So I could only imagine the growth that you've seen in your years.
When I started, it was just everybody thought you just beat the ball over the net. I mean, these kids actually play defense, and you play several different offenses on this game. It's not just beat it over the net. It's very skilled in what they're doing now. So.
Right, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of agility drills that you need to work on. There's a lot of thinking that goes into it. There's a lot of mental stimulation that you got to get. You got to figure out where your other players are going to hit. You've got to do just so much mental and emotional control in these games. But like you said, people don't understand.
And this is a game of motivation. And you lose your motivation, you lose the game.
Right. And I know we've got a pep section over here for Knott Central tonight. It's not a very big pep section, but for a volleyball game, any pep section is a good pep section.
Exactly right.
And I know when I was in high school, I always played better when we had people out. When you have people cheering, keeping that energy
exactly
up.
Right.
Every time you do something good, everybody's screaming for you.
Exactly.
It's way better than having an empty gym. And I see more people every time I come to a volleyball game.
Yes, and as the season goes on and these teams get better and better, I think the crowd will get better.
Yep, I agree with that.
These volleyball teams deserve that.
They do. They put in all the work, like you were saying. Wolfe County works year-round. Knott County, they do the Sportsplex season. They do workouts. A lot of them do other sports to stay fit.
Yes. But like I said, throughout my years, I have seen a big improvement in the game of volleyball.
Tremendously. I know a lot of things that helps is especially having Shay Cornett on the coaching staff for Knott Central. She brings in a different twist than what Beth had and what Bill has. Because Bill, he goes to and he watches all these college games online, and he'll go and watch them in the stadium. And then Shay, she's coached different teams throughout her years already, and she played whenever she was younger. And she has a way of connecting with the girls.
Exactly. That, to me, is the big thing. You as a coach, you have to know that child that you can get right in their face, and then you've got to know that player that you can just look at because you're the coach. You've got to keep those kids all motivated.
I agree with that.
And we're going to attempt to keep stats. We won't be perfect at them, but we're going to keep the highlighted stats.
Betty Vaughn will be a lot better at that than me.
And the thing is, And I'm a old time a coach, so and you're a player.
Yeah.
So we're going to have different views. But to me, everybody looks in there. Oh, that was a great kill. It was a great kill, but they've got to remember they've got that little bitty setter that's working their behind off to get that ball somewhere. So a lot of times your setters and your liberos do not get they don't get the credit they deserve.
Absolutely not. I 100% agree with that.
I really used to get upset when I first started coaching because I had, always told my setters, you're going to run 10 miles in practice. Everybody else is going to run 1 mile.
Yep.
And then when you get down and you're giving out most valuable players, your setter doesn't get one because they don't kill the ball.
Yep. They're not a show-stopping player.
Exactly right.
You cannot execute a play without the setter.
Right.
Hands down.
And that's beginning to be more and more, which I like that. I like that these setters and liberos are getting their fame.
Finally. Well-deserved.
Yes.
Ooh. Ginger Johnson served that into the back of her teammate, number 7, Naomi Noble. Ginger and Naomi Noble are both the star hitters on this team. Ginger's already got 79 kills this season, and Naomi was 77. Naomi just a sophomore. And Ginger, this will be her last year. She's a senior. It's Pollard with an attempt at a kill.
But that's what you've got to do. When you get the shot, you have to take it. And she's what, only a junior?
I think she's a senior this year.
She's a senior this year?
No, she's junior, right? I can't remember. They're all younger than me. That's all I know.
That's exactly right.
I get them all confused. I'm sure everybody's trying to get their game jitters out as well. Pollard sure did line it out with that one. Nailed it right down to the three-point line.
She is an athlete.
That is one I have watched her grow since she first started. And her timing was awful. It was ferocious.
I remember when she was in grade school, I went over to help, and they were like, just help her get her timing down. And now look at her.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
The hard work. Hard work.
And that's what it is. You've got to, if you want to get anything out of it, you've got to put the time in.
Wolfe County back to serve. Bentley with a hit on that one. Oh. Wilbero for Wolfe County, number 35, Jade Carroll, sent that one just a little bit too far outside the back line.
But she is working extremely hard in the back row.
She is. She's everywhere. It's a free ball from Wolfe County over to Knott. Beautiful set. Another free ball over to Knott County.
And this is what I like to hear. There's a lot of talk.
Yep.
The teams are, that's what you got to do in volleyball. You have to talk.
You have to communicate.
Knott County's getting the sets. Right now, Wolf's just playing really good defense.
Zoe Miller is an incredible setter. Her only a freshman.
Yes.
I remember she wasn't 2 feet tall and would come in and play volleyball under Bill. Just come in and practice with all the older girls.
Right.
And she has worked and worked and worked and worked. It's been volleyball year-round for her entire life, and it proves to be efficient.
Right. That's your payoff.
Number 7, sophomore Naomi Noble, back to serve again. This is a killer serve. Hit it just hard enough to flop over the tape at the top of the net.
Right. And those are hard balls to play off the net.
Those are terrible to play off of. I hate those kind of serves. Oh. Dropped right in bounds behind.
I figure Knott's going to start adjusting their defense to her.
Yep. Wilbero Sydney Stidham moved back just a little bit to try to cover that deep line. A little bit off the net, still able to execute. That was a beautiful set. Johnson hit it straight into the hard-walled defense of Knott County.
Yes, that was a great double block.
That's something that screw a lot with Knott County is the blocking.
That screw a lot with everybody around here. I think, honestly, we were probably the first team that brought blocking in, and then everybody just started, it's like infection. Everybody takes
Yeah.
it. You see it works, everybody does it.
I agree with that.
Like I said, because I'm probably the oldest coach around here.
You are not. If we're talking about the oldest, it's Bill. Sorry, Bill and Janet. But
Well, the oldest, the most years, I'll put it that way.
yeah, I'll agree with that. The most experience. Oh, my gosh, that was a great swing from Johnson. Really showing her ability to adjust to that, to completely catch it from the side and rotate her body around, still make it inbounds.
To me, that proves that's a good hitter can take a bad pass and still get a kill.
Yep. That's something.
Some of these players get caught in what I call no man's land, in between the 3-meter line and the net.
Yep.
And you can't do either. You can't swing anything. You're lost.
Yeah. You don't know how to adjust to it.
No.
That's something that I have preached and preached and preached on since I was in college. When I was in college, we done this drill, and it was out of system drill. Whenever the ball is somewhere that it is not supposed to be, who do you set it to and how do you adjust to it?
Exactly.
And that is the most beneficial drill I have ever learned in the game of volleyball, because there are so many out-of-system plays that you get, and if you don't practice that, you don't do it in a game.
Exactly.
It's another great kill.
And this is the thing. Ginger Johnson can take the ball diagonally or straight down the line, and she can take either a hit either way and take it either way she wants to.
Yep.
That's hard to play defense on.
It's a nice pass by Pollard. Beautiful set. A little bit inside, but Bentley's still able to make the kill on it.
And you have to remember, this is early in the season, so you figure these two teams will be could be very top-ranked contenders in the regional tournament.
Absolutely. Got plenty of time to grow, plenty of times to play each other again. Oh. It's a little bit too much swing on that from libero of Wolfe County, number 35, Jade Carroll. She's just everywhere, though. Everywhere you look, she's got the ball. Incredible footwork.
But that's what a libero is supposed to do. They're supposed to get the pass that nobody else can get.
Right. Johnson attempted that swing down line again. I think she kind of tried to hit around that double wall of the Patriots and just hit it a little bit too far left and out of bounds. Stidham able to knock that ball up. Stidham again picking the ball up for the Patriots.
Yes. These liberos have a lot of pressure on them in a ball game.
Absolutely. They are the go-to person. If something goes wrong, it goes to you.
It goes to them. That's exactly right. And a lot of coaches coach different, but when I coached, my libero was told if you make a mistake, you're out of the ball game. You have to have perfect hands, which you know that's not possible. But that's the way when they go in, they're in there in a pressure situation to take control of the ball game.
And they're in there for a purpose. They're in that jersey for a reason.
Yes.
Beautiful tip by Johnson.
See, that's a smart play. She's going from killing the ball to tipping the ball. Now you're making your defense. Now they don't know what to do. Or do they sit back on their heels, or are they trying to move up?
Again, shows how talented she is as a player.
And Knott's getting the passes. Their first pass is a great pass to those setters.
That's where it starts, too.
It is.
I preached that for so long, and Bill Grigsby with Knott Central staff, he's always preached that it starts with the pass. It starts with the pass. And it does. If you have a terrible pass, you'll have a bad set and a bad hit almost every time. It's a little too close to the net. Pollard was able to knock that one over without crossing the plane. Hatmaker's back to serve for the Patriots.
See there, your setter's not even having to move.
No, she didn't move at all.
No.
Perfect pass from libero Jade Carroll.
And that was a great 5. 5 to me is anything behind that 3-meter line. And you have to have a really good blocker to time that ball off that.
Right. Carroll with the great serve. Pollard nailing that one straight down the line.
And that came from, you had a good pass from Chloe Brown to your setter, which a great set to Faith.
Absolutely. It's just really amazing to me how far Pollard has come. Faith has just grown so much. She's put in the time and the work, and it shows.
And that's it. These young kids have to figure out that you can't just play during practice. You really have to put time in outside of practice.
Yep. Beautiful pass from Zoe Miller. Back out to Zoe. The Miller sisters knocking that one down. From Zoe to Ellie to Zoe again. Patriots are down 3. It's 12-15, Wolfe County up. Zoe is quite the server on positioning.
And that's something you really have to work at to be able to do.
Yep. If they were able to keep her serving, the Patriots would have been able to get out of their little hole that they've got in right now. It's a nice flat serve.
That was a great up by your libero.
Absolutely. Both these teams are really putting in the work.
They are.
Yeah.
And you see how competitive it is now. This is the beginning of the season. And these kids are going to grow, and the more they work together, the better they're going to get.
Right. Nice pass from libero. Stuffed at the net by Bentley and Hatmaker. Little tight, but Miller is able to get rid of it. Oh. So back set out to number 14, Sarah Moore. Hit it just a little bit. Was knocked back over by the Patriots.
You're getting subs in for Wolfe. Number 15, Isabella, comes in for number 8, Lacey to serve.
Ooh. I think her nerves might have got her on that one.
It could be.
I'm sure when the second set comes out, all the adrenaline's going to be mellowed out a little more. All the nerves are going to be gone.
They'll be down to playing the game.
Hatmaker defending the net for the Patriots. That pass was just a little too low for the setter to have anything to do with it, and
it gave Hatmaker a great chance to block that ball.
Yep. Bentley serving again, a little bit of side spin. Bentley able to knock that ball up, and the Patriots give a free ball over to Wolfe. Another great pass from the libero for Wolfe County. Betty Vaughn, I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a theme. It's going to Johnson or it's going to Naomi Noble for Wolfe County, just about every time. We've got some going out to number 14, Sarah Moore.
You got to know Ben White's playbook.
Yep. I think Ben's trying to change it up a little bit.
He is.
And get it to that right side hitter who's struggling just a little bit on the right side. Oh.
That was a tip off the block.
It was.
And that's the thing. You've got to use your front line to make the defense play.
Yep. It's a good way to slow down the ball from Knott County. I think they were just sleeping a little bit in the back on whether that was a playable ball or not.
And that's it. When you quit talking, you lose momentum of the game.
Yep. Communication is key always.
It is in this sport. You've got about 3 seconds to react to the ball.
Yep. Ellie Miller back into the game for the Patriots. She will now be the setter. The other Miller sister, Zoe, is Going to be a front row here.
Yeah, they're just the opposite of each other.
Yep. Good control from Johnson. I wasn't completely sure that was inside the antenna, were you?
No, but I think because of it comes at an angle, they'll let it go.
Patriots take a timeout. They are up 19-18, and we will take a short break, and we'll be right back. We are back after that short timeout. The Patriots finally found their way up 19-18 against Wolfe County tonight. Immediately the ball goes back to Ginger Johnson. No shocker there. Oh my gosh.
That was a nice hit push by Ellie to find a hole on the floor.
That was a great push from Ellie Miller.
Great defense by Wolfe County to get back to get it.
Yep, Jade Carroll able to get her feet back there, pop that up quickly, and give her team a chance to play the ball. Johnson back to serve again. Woo. Mistake you should never make.
Right, because they're calling her over the net.
Yep. Ben does not like that call.
You know what? Me as a coach, I never did either, even though I knew my kids did it.
I got called for it a lot.
Yeah, you just like the hustle. You like that they're getting up there and getting it.
Yeah. I always got aggravated because I knew I wasn't supposed to cross the plane of the net, and somehow I ended up doing it anyway.
Right. I mean, it's just automatic.
The Patriots were making sure to watch that ball. There's probably about 4 of them, plus the bench and Coach Cornett standing there watching to make sure the ball did hit outside the line.
To me, you can tell a well-coached team that follows that ball to the out-of-bounds line.
Absolutely.
That knows it's out, not standing there yelling out. They're there watching it.
Yep. Brown just could not get that ball all the way down on the outside, went just a little bit out of bounds. Patriots are still up 21-20. Things are starting to heat up a little bit now, Betty Vaughn.
They are.
The pep section's cheering a little bit louder.
Yes.
Wolfe County's bench is getting louder. Finally getting some really competitive volleyball.
And the players are getting into the game more.
Beautiful set from Sydney Stidham out to Faith Pollard.
Nice hands by Zoe just to tip it over and not go over the net.
Yep.
You can't break that plane.
Nope. Patriots snag another point. Just 3 away from taking the set.
Yes, it's 22-20. I remember when I started coaching, that was the thing we worked on the most was getting the net because I said the stronger team on the net will win the game.
Right. Letcher was always the strong team on the net. I remember that very well.
Well, I appreciate it. But like you, your team and everybody else, you put a lot of time into that.
Yep. Gigi Sloan back to serve.
That was a nice serve. And
We've
of course
seen a lot of them like that
yes,
tonight.
You see your libero pick that up.
Yep. She's everywhere.
Yes.
Wolfe County back again with the ball. Abigail Noble, Wolfe County setter, back to serve.
That's a nice up. When that setter's not having to move, you love it.
That's exactly what you want. That's the perfect pass. You don't want to wear your setter out.
And by the end of the season, you want your teams to be able to take a bad pass and that setter set something, and you be able to hit.
Yep.
Right now, everything has to be pretty clean, but by the end of the year, you should be able to take a bad pass to a set, and it doesn't have to be a perfect set to get a hit.
Right. You want to be able to adjust to those.
Exactly right.
Beautiful swing. Zoe Miller able to pop that up.
Exactly.
What was the call on that one?
Knott County was in the net.
Yep.
You can handle that. That means they're aggressive.
Yep.
Scores 22-24. Knott's up.
A little bit of a wonky pass, but able to get it back over close to the net. Oh. Knott County takes the first set of the game, 25-22 against Wolfe County. Betty Vaughn, how do you think set number 2 is going to go?
I think it'll be about like it is now. Their nerves, I think they're going to settle down. I think their passing will get a little bit better. About the third game, you'll be seeing a little fatigue, so that way you can tell then which teams is going to you have to play through that. You have to play through being tired. And it's a mental tiredness, it's not a physical tiredness.
Right.
So, for the first game, I have I have 6 kills for Wolfe and 7 kills for Knott. I had 3 aces for Wolfe and 2 aces for Knott. And I had 3 blocks for Knott County. So it's a pretty evenly matched team. They're both hitting. Knott, I think, is moving the ball a little more in the front row than Wolfe is.
Yeah.
But these coaches are with these kids every day, so they know more about them than I do.
Right. Yeah, they seem to be pretty evenly matched at this point in the season.
Yes.
And I think the score showed that they were pretty close the whole game within a few points.
Yeah, a run for this is 2 or 3 points.
A lot of momentum shifts, too, right towards the end. There would be a few points that would go towards Knott County, and then it would just kind of teetered a little bit until Knott County finally came ahead towards the end of the set and just really pulled through and was able to push those last about 10 points out.
And the thing is, you got to just see being important. It's a mental game. You gotta stick in there as a team. You got to stay together.
It's 100% mental, and like we were all talking before the games even started or the varsity game started, for girls it is mental. It's completely mental. Whenever you get out and play, it's mental and it's emotional. You got to be able to mentally handle everything that's being thrown at you. These girls, you'll get out here and you'll be playing a volleyball game, and one of these girls that's serving is going to keep picking on you if you keep messing up. You've got to be able to handle that. You can't show any emotion.
No.
And you've got to keep right on. Just new ball. Every set, every pass, every hit, new ball. Forget about the last point. Forget about the last play. It don't matter. What matters is what's coming.
Sometimes getting in position is moving your feet 6 inches one way.
Right.
You've got to get your body down in position to be ready to receive that first ball.
Right.
And then from there on, I've always said, to me, my setters were the backbone of my team. They were my make or break because they were going to be involved in every play.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to have a good setter. You have to be able to get your passes to your setter. That way your setter can get the ball out to your hitter and make a good play.
This is the thing. Your setter has to know every player. They have to know if they want it high, in the net, off the net, outside.
And where they're at.
Yeah, everybody else just punches it up. This setter's got to know this is who I'm getting the ball to and why.
The most pressure on them all the time.
Yes.
I agree with that. Like you were saying at the start of the game, the libero and the setter, 2 key players that do not get enough credit or recognition.
No, because they don't do this kill right here.
Yep. And that's what people see when they come out and they're like, oh my gosh, Faith Pollard is so great. Oh my gosh, Ginger Johnson just kills everything. Yeah, they do, but there's a lot of work that's put into that. There's a lot of other players that make that happen.
Exactly. And in volleyball, I told my kids, you have 3 seconds to react. They're going to hit it 3 times.
Yep.
You've got to be ready.
Nice back set from Miller.
And Pollard just advanced to the net too fast.
Yeah. Pollard's height is really an advantage for her as well.
Yes.
She's got some really long arms and long legs, and her timing is great. She's got really good ball control.
Well, and she's a very coachable kid.
Yes. That's the biggest thing.
See, there your libro's in a great spot, a great pass up.
Read that ball very well.
Yes.
Sydney Stidham did.
Now Ginger's, she's playing smart. She's trying to, instead of killing, she's trying to tip and push to make Knott County change their defense some.
Absolutely. I know that in high school I always got very aggravated, especially when we played Letcher, because they always done that to us. They would change everything up. If we would get adjusted to something, they would change it. And then after I finally got skilled enough to where I could do it, I would make everybody mad because I would do it as well, because that's what you need to do.
Exactly
it's mental.
right.
You've got to get them off their mental game.
That, to me, is a proof of a good team.
Yep.
You've got to make this defense. You've got to make them spread apart. You've got to make them come together. You have to lead them. You've got to make the other team do what you want. You don't do what they want.
That's where a lot of these tips come in handy, a lot of these pushes,
Yes.
a lot of the line shots. Oh.
She just about crilled an ankle on that ball.
Just about. I think she got a little bit angry with that one, too.
Right. And serving is the main part of the game. It doesn't have to be a kill. It just has to be in.
Right. Me and Coach Grigsby from Knott Central have talked about that several times. It's like a free throw in a basketball game.
It's a free shot. Take it. Yes. Your job is to get it in and give them. That's a 50% chance that they'll mess up on the other side.
Yep.
So you take that chance.
Knott Central came just short of being able to pick that ball up that was blocked. Rolled down the net. Those are really difficult to get.
Yes, they are.
And one of the key components of being able to knock that ball back over on the other side in the inbounds is that outside person on the double block needs to make sure that they have their hands turned in towards the court and that they go up at the same time and their hands are spread.
Yes.
That way if it bounces off their hands, it's going on the other side where it's supposed to be, instead of if you have your hands just straight up, it just kind of goes off and rolls a little.
And see, people doesn't realize that. They just think you go up a block. You really have to go up. It's a lot of body position in volleyball.
Looks like somebody was out of rotation for Wolfe County.
Yeah, and they had to just hit it because their time had already started. But you only have 5 seconds to serve.
I can't remember his last name, Betty Vaughn. What's his last name? It's Robert. What's his last name? The ref on the stand.
I can't remember. Is it?
I know his name's Robert. He's very by the book, 100% by the book.
Yes.
He knows that rule book every time it comes out every year, and he don't care who's in the stands. He don't care if mom, dad's screaming at you. It don't matter.
And as a coach, that's what you want.
Absolutely.
You want the kids to have a chance either way.
He don't like any back talk from the coaching staff either. He will not put up with it. I believe it was him that got into it with Coach Justice and about threw her out of one game. I don't remember. She got into it a couple times, but.
Well, but as a coach, a lot of times I would get up and say stuff just because my kids would be on a down.
Yeah.
They weren't doing very, so if I got up and argued with the coach or something just to get my kids pepped up to play.
Yeah.
But then you also have to know how far you can go. You have to stop.
Right. It works, too.
It does.
There's somebody out there fighting for you. You
Exactly
want to work that
right.
much harder. Wolfe County serving again. They're up 8-5 against the Patriots. Stidham able to knock that pass up. Pollard with a kill straight down the middle of the court.
Let me tell you, with her height and arm length, her jumping ability, it's hard to block her.
Well, if you notice, Betty Vaughn, she didn't even hit that ball high. She hit it in the kind of the middle of her hand and was able to cup that ball down and make sure that ball went inbound.
And that's the thing, is cupping it and making it come down. A lot of your hitters want to hit halfway. You've got to swing all the way through.
Yep.
Your hand has to be on top of the ball.
Number 7, Noble, back to serve again for Wolfe County. It's a floater that just did not land in bounds. Floaters are so difficult to serve. I couldn't serve those until I was I think they made me serve them in college, and I still ain't very good at them. But I was always taught topspin. Topspin's what you need to do. And at that level of playing, that was what we did.
My philosophy with my girls was to get it inbounds, make them play the ball.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you said, you're going to have kids that can spot serve, which is great. And we went a couple years that we actually ran offensive plays, but we were usually like this right here, just getting good sets and playing the ball.
Yeah, just doing what you can with what you got.
Exactly right. And I was fortunate. I always had a bunch of girls who worked extremely hard at this game.
Waddell came in the game and was able to knock out her first kill of the game. You always did. You always had really talented girls.
Well, it's because when they walked in the gym, we're playing to go to the state tournament.
Yep.
And I'm sure everybody does that. We're playing to win the district. You're playing to win the region. You know, I always tell my kids, it's like a ladder. When you make it to the first step, I'm going to give you something else to do. When you make it to the second, you never get to the top of that ladder. You're always learning.
Give it 110% or go
Exactly.
home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're always learning. Every game you learn something.
Oh.
And then you have to be, as a coach, on the way back on the bus, you've got to be able to figure out drills of how to correct what was wrong or how to make something stronger that was working.
Right. Got to be able to look at all these different aspects.
Exactly right.
And I know, too, as a coach, which I helped coach on Knott Central staff, I think 1 or 2 years, and then I usually help at the Sportsplex League. But it's also important to see who plays well beside each other.
Exactly.
Who plays off each other's strengths and weaknesses, who can't be beside each other, who needs to be opposite.
That's true.
And which setters work the best with which hitters.
Yeah, coaching volleyball is not just sitting over there. You have 6 players that you've got to – I always say you can't have a weak link.
Right. And it is definitely easy to point out. When you have a weak player, the other team will see that weak player and immediately start hitting that person every single time.
Exactly.
And if the other team can see it and you don't pull them out of the game, that's an issue.
And to me, that's just a good coach that can sit there and spot. That's why if you look on the bench, you'll see a couple of coaches. I always had coaches that look for holes on the floor. I had coaches that look for players on the other team that we needed to go to.
Right.
So everybody has a role on that bench.
Right. Right now we are in the first timeout of set number 2. The Patriots are down 1 to Wolfe County. It is 11-12. Betty Vaughn, how are the kills looking so far for this set?
Right now they're pretty even. Wolfe has 3 and Knott has 2.
Again, just like the first set.
But their net play is getting better too, so they're getting a lot more tips on the net.
I agree with that.
And that also will make your hitters change.
Yep.
Their hitting positions because they don't want to get blocked.
Right, you don't want to hit straight into a block.
Right.
And if you do hit into a block, you got to hit hard.
Right.
And if it's a good block, it's going to hit hard off their hands back over to your
Exactly
team.
right. So you have to be ready.
Hatmaker with a flat serve. Johnson trying to change up that defense.
Yes, both teams are really working the defense right now.
Yeah, Robert called that one. It's a double contact. And for those who don't know at home that are watching, a double contact or 2 hits is what just happened where Faith Pollard tried to pop that one up, but it hit her hands at 2 different times and created a kind of off spin on the ball. So that's immediately called as a not playable ball.
Yes. And then also if the ball spins sideways, they'll call 2 hits.
I've seen that call quite a bit in my days, especially when I used to set.
I said the best thing is to you need to get these kids out of this region and go play. I always played from Belfry to Louisville. Anybody who called. We played from Ashland to Northern Kentucky. That way you get all different calls and you learn what double hits are because a lot of teams A lot of places, if that ball rolls in at all, it's a double hit.
Yep, especially 15th region. 15th
Yes, and
region's always very
and you've
strong.
got to deal with that.
Yep.
I mean, you have to. That's the way you got to play.
Wolfe County
Great
came out of
defense.
that timeout and is really picking up on the.
Yes, you see how they're moving the ball. They kill one, they push one.
Yep.
And then Pollard kills one.
Able to knock that one back into an awkward spot for the Wolfe County defense. Chloe Brown back to serve for the Patriots. Stidham able to get a hand on it.
Yeah, that was just a nice hit and a nice play. She was just a step away from where she should be, and that's going to happen.
Yep. Beautiful swing from Wolfe.
But at least Stidham tried to get a hand on it.
Yep. Better to touch it than to let it hit the floor.
Because, you know, a lot of times if you can pop it up, you may give somebody a chance to get it.
Whenever I coach a team at Sportsplex, I always like to do a little thing where when we're running drills, if the ball hits the floor and nobody attempted to touch it or touched it, usually just touch it in general. Yeah, that ball was ruled out of bounds.
Yeah.
If nobody touched it, then you have to run. If nobody's even close to it, you have to run more.
Right.
There's no excuse for not being able to get to a ball.
I always say that's why you have knee pads.
Exactly. Seeing a lot of movement from both teams right now.
Yes.
Oh. Pollard able to adjust and get that ball knocked over.
And you know that first hit now can pretty much be anything.
Yep.
Used to it was a double hit, but now because the game is advancing so much, they're giving you a good range of first hits.
Right. It was a great volley between both teams. Wolfe just fell a little bit short on being able to execute their set on that pass. That pass was a little bit too low and too far back for the setter to be able to get to it.
And it is 14-15 Knott.
Ooh.
That was just a kill.
That was a really good swing.
She went right through the two blockers' hands. The only way you receive that is you're just standing there and it hits you.
Yep, just so happened to be in the right place.
Exactly right. Stidham's working extremely hard back here.
Trying to make sure that she covers that back row.
Exactly.
Another great swing from Noble for Wolfe County on that front row. They're really trying to put the Patriots in a hole right now. They're trying to knock down their confidence, knock down their momentum, trying to change a lot of things up to get them off their mental game. And that's what Ben's best at. And he's making it work right now.
Right.
Yeah, the Patriots are doing things that they normally wouldn't do.
Right.
And that's where it gets you. When you start changing your game to where you're not confident in what you're doing and you're just trying to get the ball over the net, you're not going to do things effectively.
No, I always say don't play not to lose. You know, if you're playing not to lose, you're playing safe ball.
Yeah, you don't want to play safe.
No, you want to play.
Yep.
If you're a hitter, you want to hit. You know, setter's set.
I agree with that. And I've noticed, too, both of these teams now, for a long time when I was in high school, we just didn't have the players that were able to do the kind of serve-receive that they do now, the three-man serve-receive.
Exactly.
I have always been a fan of the three-man serve-receive. There's less people in the way.
Yes.
You know where you have to cover. It makes you move your feet. And I've always been a fan of having less people back to receive that ball.
I know everybody coaches that different. I always coach mine. If it's in your line, it's your ball.
Right.
If you have to step to the left or to the right, it's not your ball, it's somebody else's.
Right.
And you're right. It gets all these hands out of the way of the ball.
I've always liked that 1,000 times better, and I'm so glad to see the Patriots have been transitioning into that through the years, and now it's predominantly a three-man serve-receive. You're protecting your setter.
Exactly.
And you've got just those three people back there to talk about it and see whose it is.
That was a good serve. That was right.
Yeah.
A couple inches inside.
They can't argue that one.
No.
That one was great.
And not, Wolfe has a lead now of 19-14.
Coach Cornett tried to take a timeout to refurbish the girls' momentum and get them back up in their confidence, and it just does not seem to be working right now.
No, the girls need to talk now. This is their job. They've got to get their teammates settled down to play.
Gigi Sloan able to knock that one up. Faith Pollard knocked it back over. The first point that the Patriots have gotten, probably the last, I would say, 5.
Right. But this is when you get to see what your team's made of.
Yep, if they can push through.
Yes, you got to be behind and you got to play through to come back.
There's a drill that I like too. Is you always set in practice you'll set the score at 20-20.
Exactly.
And the first one to 25, doesn't have to run. And that makes you work that much harder because if you don't get to 25, then you're going to have to run.
Or a lot of times I would have put my varsity against my JV, and if my JV scored more than 10 points, the varsity, had to do something.
I've had to play that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to make both
rough.
teams. Your JV wants to do better because they want to beat them, and the varsity doesn't. So.
Right. And for everybody that didn't understand what just happened with the ball there, he said it was an inadvertent blow of the whistle, and that's why he stopped the game and done a reserve on that one. Sometimes that happens.
It does.
You have to hold the whistle in your mouth the whole time. It's kind of gross.
Exactly.
Shay and Justin have tried. They probably tried for about 2 years to talk me into being a ref. And I told them, I said, I ain't doing it because you have to deal with the coaches and the parents, and I ain't got the patience for that.
Well, I said I was a coach that was one of the worst ones on the sideline, so I don't want to get up there and give them a shot at me.
Yeah.
Because I took shots at all of them.
That's just how the game goes.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
But I always wanted my kids to know I was behind them.
Right. You had their back. Somebody was in their corner. Stidham back to serve the Patriots. The Patriots are down 6. Wolfe County's only got 3 points to go to take this set. So the Patriots really got to dig deep and push up if they want to take it.
Ginger Johnson gets she just if she gets a good set, she can move her hand left to right just a little bit to move that ball away from those blockers.
She will 100% kill that ball if she's able. I'm not sure what was decided before this game, but I'm going to say it's probably best 3 out of 5 tonight.
I would say so.
If the Patriots can pick it up and push out this set, then we're looking at 4 sets at the least.
Exactly.
Beautiful serve and a nice pass from Wolfe County.
Nice up by Stidham. It's a good set. Chloe just wasn't hardly outside far enough to play that ball. Nice hands. There you go. It was
a good hustle.
Yes, it was.
That's one of the things that I've noticed a lot of teams struggle with on the outside is they don't want to get all the way out.
Right. And then they don't get to hit the ball because the ball's over their head. It's not the setter's fault.
Nope. The setter sets it where it's supposed to go. You have to you have to give yourself a chance to play the ball. Yes. And if you're not outside, you're not going to be able to hit it right. Johnson again with that adjustment. She seen it was open just in front of the attack line.
Right.
And was able to knock that ball just short of number 5, Zoe Miller. It's now game point for set number 2 for Wolfe County. Serve straight into the net for number 14, Sarah Moore. Hatmaker back to serve for the Patriots now. A lot of pressure on her.
Oh, that's a nice up by your libero.
Right in a perfect position for them to get rid of that ball. Beautiful swing from Pollard. This is a high-pressure situation right now.
It is.
Especially for Hatmaker and all the girls on the side for the Patriots.
Right, you got Hatmaker, can't miss a serve, but you're glad to see Pollard swinging.
Absolutely. You don't want to see anybody playing safe, especially on a point like that.
No.
Patriots able to get the ball up. Oh. Said it was outside the antenna.
Yeah. Well, I think he said it hit. It hit the
antenna.
antenna. Yes.
Okay. Okay, that was set number 2. Wolfe County took that one 25-20. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with you.
In Eastern Kentucky, being connected to the world has never been easier. With our 100 meg package at only $44.95 a month, you can be sure to always stay connected and up to date. But if that's not fast enough, we offer even faster. With the layest technology to make sure you're getting the most out of your service. Give us a call today or check out tgtel.com for more information. Thacker Grigsby, bringing the future to Eastern Kentucky.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with the click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
We are back getting ready to start set number 3. Set number 1 was taken by the Patriots. Set number 2 was taken from Wolfe County. And Betty Vaughn, what do you think we're going to see in set number 3? Which one do you think will take number 3?
I'll tell you right now, the first set was Knott 25-22. Second set was Wolfe 25-20. These are two very, very close match teams. They both have two really good hitters. Their setters are doing a great job. Their liberos are doing a great job. I think it's going to be pretty much just like this right here. Like the last game, Wolfe missed 5 serves. Knott County missed 0 serves, but Wolfe made up on it on less mistakes.
Right.
So I just think now you're going to see the mental fatigue, which team can play through that for the next 2 or 3 games.
Right. And that's really a win for any team, even though the Patriots didn't come out on top. But the fact that they didn't miss any serves.
Exactly.
And the history of the Patriots, I know that there's not a lot of sets that they've made it through without, not missing a serve. So that's really a big improvement for them. But like you said, Wolfe County made less mistakes.
Right.
Patriots able to take out the first point of set number 3. It's a nice set to the back row, Ginger Johnson. Again, like I was saying earlier, the most that you see hit is Ginger Johnson and Naomi Noble, number 7 and number 0.
Yes. But they have really good defense around them, too.
Yep. The Patriots, you see it change up a little bit. Obviously, you're going to hit your hot hitters. You're going to hit your strongest hitters. That's Faith Pollard. You're going to hit her every time that you can hit her.
And to me, that's just being a smart coach and player.
Right.
You know, you're going to have some nights that you're not going to be as good as others. As a setter, you've got to know I've got to use the players that's being hot right now that's scoring.
Right. Coach Justice in high school, that's what she always told us. She said, hit whoever's hot.
Exactly
hit whoever's
right.
hot.
That was a good shot by Ellie trying to get the ball to the back corner. To me, that's a smart setter that can find that hole.
Absolutely. You got to be able to look at the court and see everything
Yes,
else
you
that's
do.
going on your side as well.
And that setter has to know where the strong blockers on that other side. She's going to try to keep the ball away from them.
There's really so much that goes on for a setter. They are the most important, like you were saying earlier. They have to know where the blockers are at on the other team, where the holes are at on the other team, where your hitters are at, and how the ball is coming to you, where your coverage is at. Like, you have to know so much.
Yeah, and if you have a team that doesn't pass well, then you want the ball to go away from that hitter so they can't get the ball back to their good hitter.
Right.
But these two teams right now are passing really well. These setters are having a pretty easy time of getting balls set.
I think that's why we're seeing so many swings as well.
Yes.
Not seeing quite as many kills as you would expect, but we're seeing a lot of swings. And the reason we're not seeing so many kills is because of the defense.
Yes.
The defense is so good.
Yes, both teams are playing extremely good defense to be this early in the year.
It's a great swing from Miller into the double block from Wolfe County. Came off the hands. They just didn't have those hands closed in and turned in towards the court.
But you like to see that young hitter is not afraid to go up there and swing.
Absolutely.
But you're right. Those blockers were there. Their hands were just turned out.
It's a nice pass. A little bit of a miss hit for Wolfe County.
Yes.
Knott is now up 5-2. Definitely coming out stronger in the first part of this third set.
Yeah, they seem to be more focused on what they need to do. That was a nice play by 22 from Knott. That was good defense.
Still able to play that ball.
Yes. You're seeing some nice ups right now.
Yep. I don't know what you had told your girls, Betty Vaughn, when you coached, but I know that Coach Justice always wanted to talk to us about the game during timeouts and during the 3 minutes in between sets. But Coach Grigsby, he always wanted to talk about something else. He always wanted to get her minds off of it. So we had a little bit mixture of both. What did you do with your girls? Did you want to refresh over the game, or did you kind of want to talk about something else and just let them breathe for a minute?
No, we were 100% focused on what's going on right now. If we won, we wanted to know what we had to do better. If we lost, we wanted to know what we had to fix.
Right. I see both sides of that.
I do.
I liked how Coach Justice, she was always like, this is what we need to work on. This is what we're seeing. This is what we need to do. And Coach Grigsby was just more the relaxed one. He was like, everybody's fine. You just got to relax and play.
You need that. Everybody needs it. Me and my assistant, Kevin Nichols, we coached together for years, and we were that way. I was usually the one that was the yelling and screaming, and he was the cool and calm, chill out, get focused.
That perfect mixture.
Yes, and everybody needed that. And then there was times that we would switch roles. He was the one doing the yelling, and I was the one saying, chill out, so.
Yeah. Number 22, Bentley, back to serve for the Patriots again.
And it's 7-4 Knott. And I've been very impressed with these two liberos.
They're both all over the floor the whole time, and their passes are – they really haven't missed that many passes either.
No, they really haven't. Actually, honestly, both teams are actually – I mean, they go through a spurt of hitting a couple of passing, but their passes are pretty decent. You have to think this is early in the season.
And it's great to be early in the season.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That was just lack of communication in the back row, not really knowing who's going to get that ball.
Almost took out the interim head coach's husband. I'm sure she wouldn't have complained too much.
No. That was a nice up.
Just couldn't quite execute that for the Patriots.
And that's probably something that Pollard needs to work on doing with her height and her wingspan to be able to swing from that back row.
I'd say that Pollard probably has a hard time, too, with those low balls and being able to roll it because her arms are so long and she's so tall. That's probably something that she really needs a high ball. So I'm sure that she does need a little bit of work on her adjustments on those lower balls. Knott County's really shaking up Wolfe on their swings right now.
They are.
I think that they're trying to adjust just a little bit too much, and they're getting out of their comfort zone.
Exactly. They're trying to do things a little different. That was just a great push.
That was.
When you get a middle that can move that ball that well, that's hard to play.
It's hard to play middle. I don't like playing middle at all. It's hard to play. You're always in the way. You got to be everywhere. You got to watch the net. You got to make sure that you're getting over here to block, that you're getting over here to block. And whenever you hit the ball, you don't have as much room as the outside and the right side hitter have to hit. You've got to hit down the middle of the court or the corners. You don't have as much room.
And like I said, volleyball is a game of spurts. You may score 3 or 4 points, and then you may lose 3 or 4.
Yep.
But it's all about the momentum. You got to you have to stay together as a team.
Right.
And you got to focus on what your job is. Not trying to. You can't do too much.
Right.
And you're only going to get 1 point at a time, regardless of what you do.
It's a good roll shot.
Yes. That was a roll with a good drop right on the end of it.
Yep. Miller able to kill that one down the line. Wolfe was really hustling to pick that ball up. They just couldn't quite execute the play.
Yes. And Knott is running a 6-1, which means they're running 6 players, but one of their setters is also a hitter.
Yep. Beautiful tip. Really good way to see the court from Miller.
That's a good player that can go up and understand that you're not going to kill it. You've got a big hole in the middle. Now, Wolfe has to decide how they're going to cover that hole.
Right. It's a nice low set.
Yes, and it was on the right side because Wolfe usually does not hit a lot of balls on the right-hand side. They're usually a left side. They use the left side.
Yep, they'll go outside, middle, and then back row.
Exactly.
There's that back row hit. Beautiful block from Pollard. Another back row swing. Patriots are doing a really good job trying to keep the ball on the other side of the net.
I just like the movement. Both teams are moving. They're into the game.
Miller done a really good job of cutting over and trying to get that ball inbounds. It was just short of being inside that line. She done a really good job of adjusting to that and making sure that it was inside the pin.
That was a nice up by Pollard.
Beautiful kill. Nobody even attempted to go for that from Wolfe County.
Because it was in the center. That's that no-man land ball.
Yep, in the middle of 3 people.
Yes. And nobody knows who wants to go get it.
Right.
But that's what you do. If your hitter gives you a good set, a good pass, then you give them a good set.
Yep.
I always say it's like a birthday present. They give you the pass, you give them the set.
Absolutely. Score is now tied, 12-all. Wolfe County is serving. Setter number 28, Abigail Noble. That one was out of bounds. That one looked really close. I don't know what these girls are doing that all their balls are getting so close out of bounds. It's like half of them have been really close to the line, so I would hate to be a line judge for this game.
Well, I think when they're serving and they're hitting that floater and it's staying up.
Yeah.
And looks like Wolfe is running a 5-1. 28 is their dominant setter.
Yeah.
She's sitting all the way around.
And there's benefits to that, and there's also downfalls to that. I'm sure you know that way better than I know that. But the only thing about having your setter all the way around in a 5-1 is that there for a while in the front row, you'll only have 2 hitters on the front row.
And you actually sometimes only have 2 blockers because a lot of people will not let their setter block.
Right.
So a smart team is going to go wherever that setter's at.
Yep.
And with the way that volleyball has picked up, all these coaches in this region are beginning to learn little things to make their teams better.
Right. Beautiful serve from Pollard. It's a nice swing from Bentley on the right side.
And I know people doesn't understand that, but that is called a kill, even though she swings it over. It didn't hit the floor, but they didn't return it, so that's considered a kill.
Yep, and it has to be one hit, and nobody else hits it, right?
Exactly.
It took me a long time before I caught on to that because nobody had explained it to me, and I couldn't understand why that wasn't a kill. And then finally, one day somebody explained it to me and said, if one person hits the ball and it isn't returned, then it's a kill. It's a beautiful pass from the libero. Swung just a little bit too far to the left.
And you can see these teams already have their you can watch them adjust. The front row all adjust back together. They all adjust forward together.
Right. And you made a good point earlier too, Betty Vaughn. You said that in a game like this, you got to, see how the team sticks together. And that was always one of my biggest pet peeves is you have to be one team. It's no one player. It takes 6 players to win a game. And it takes 6 players to be out there on the court. You have to be one big team in order to get up in these deficits. And like right now, Wolfe County is down 15-17, now 15-18, in this shifting game where it's going back about 3 points each way. And you really have to stick together and not hold fault to anybody.
Exactly. And you have to be willing to sacrifice for your teammates.
Right.
You're not going to be the big hitter every night.
Right.
So you got to play your position. It's not your game, but it's your team.
Right. I know there's many times. Sometimes I'm just not hot. I'm not good. Some nights I'm just off, and I'll tell them like you can't keep setting me.
Right. But to me, kids have to realize you don't have heroes and superstars. You're ball players. You're a team.
Yep.
And to me, coaches have to really push that.
Yep. It's a team sport, 100%.
Yeah, and there's no one like Johnson she is a great hitter, but she can't beat a team by herself because she can't serve, set, and spike also.
Right.
She has to have help.
You've got to work on everybody.
Exactly.
Not sure exactly what's going on at the ref
I'm not
stand.
sure either.
Kind of feel like Coach White is not going to like it, though.
No, he has his hands on his hips.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be no, I don't know what it is.
It's untelling.
No.
I love how he has his back turned so nobody can read his lips.
Yeah, I think they're discussing the in-out balls. Let me tell you, some of these balls are going so fast. It's like a blink and you miss it.
Absolutely. And I think they're both calling them pretty fairly.
Yes, they're doing a great job. They're not on their phone or talking. They're watching the game. Some of these are just very, very close hits.
Right.
That's why I said I didn't want to be a referee because when I coached, I was the one up yelling, screaming that. So I'm not giving them a chance to take those shots at me. I was just sit in the stands and watch the game.
It's a lot to handle when you're up on the stand.
It is.
You have the authority, but you also have everybody quarreling at you.
Exactly. Score is now 17-18. Knott.
I'm not completely sure what happened in that little bit of a referee intermission there, but it's definitely shifted the momentum.
I'm telling you, in volleyball, it doesn't take a whole lot to change the momentum of the ball game.
Not at all. I know a lot of little tricks that I have learned in my years of playing is like, if somebody else has got a lot of momentum and you need to break the momentum, you got to stop until you shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do little stuff like that.
Exactly.
You got to stay in the timeout as long as possible until the last second runs out. You just got to do things to put a little bit more time in between playing the ball.
Just so that team with the momentum will, their heart rate will slow down.
Yeah.
Get them slowed down.
Missed serve for Wolfe County. Now the Patriots are up 20-18. If they can just push these 5 points out, then they'll have one game up on Wolfe County.
Yes.
It's a nice pass from Johnson. Oh, no communication on that coverage.
No. We always said that's the honey hole.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of the floor, and you have 6 players looking at it.
Yep.
And nobody just wants to say my ball.
That's one of the worst spots for it to
It
get
is.
to.
Exactly. That was a nice up by Ellie.
Yeah, good
just
hustle
to get
for
it
that.
to, yeah, she got it to, it's actually a pretty good pass to her hitter.
There
that
we
was
go.
a good block.
It's a double block from Miller and Pollard. I'm not completely sure that Pollard had a hand on that, though. That might have just been Miller.
The score is 21-19 Knott.
Yep,
Wolfe County calls a timeout. Ben's trying to get his team just settled down. They've got to focus. They have to focus on what they need to do to win the ball game, not what Knott County's doing.
Right. Ben's trying to talk his team into pulling out this win and making their record be 7-1.
Right.
And Knott County, obviously, they don't want to lose another game this early in the season. They're trying to make their record 7-2.
And Shay's over here discussing what they're doing, the good things they're doing.
Right.
Their blocks, their passing. But I will have to say this early in the season, both teams were passing very, very well.
This is one of the better games that I've
Yes.
seen. Usually whenever I see Knott Central play, obviously I'm a Knott Central alumni, but always struggled with passing.
Right.
The whole team, as many years as I've ever seen a game played, has always struggled with passing. And they have focused on that so much and put in so much work on that you can see in this game. Like you said, this so early in the season, their passing's really good for both teams.
I will tell you that when I coached, my worst was receive serve.
Yeah.
And I went to camps everywhere. I talked to coaches everywhere. I watched ball games just to see how to receive serve, and that's just something we had to put a lot of time in to just be able to compete.
Right, a lot of practice. Going through the motions, being able to do that footwork, being able to read the ball. Patriots came out with the first point after the timeout, 22-19. Only need to push out 3. If they can keep Miller serving, then they'll have this 3 points. She's great at position serving. Trying to keep that ball away from the libero for Wolfe County.
Yes.
Pollard she was really good at handling the ball on that one. She was able to come across her body. She hit it from her left shoulder. She came across, was able to turn that ball in, have the top spin on it, and have it drop just down in front of the back line.
And I will tell you that takes a lot of work to be able to do that.
Especially being able to come across your body and hit it. The ball was lined up with her left shoulder.
To me, my observation is Knott is playing the net much better right now than Wolfe is. And I'm telling you, if you can play the net, you can win a lot of ball games.
Right. Keep the ball on the other side of the net.
Yes, exactly.
Let the other team make the mistakes. That's something Coach Justice always taught us as well, is let the other team make the mistakes.
Knott County wins that the third set, 25-19.
A little bit of a bigger gap in that one. 6-point gap. We will take a short break, and we'll be right back with you for set number 4.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Hi, I'm attorney David Johnson. You may recognize me from some of our other ads, but injuries from an auto accident are no joking matter. With over 25 years of experience, our offices have the resources and expertise to go head-to-head with big insurance. While most of our cases get resolved without going to court, trust me, they know if the attorney you choose will take it this far. Either way, our clients get paid. So for all your legal needs, get the pros on your side.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At HCTC, you're more than just a student.
I am motivated.
I am retired.
I am a grandmother.
I am a veteran. I am an entrepreneur. I am a son.
I am a small business owner.
I am HCTC.
Home sweet home. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we've been providing our friends and neighbors the sweet dream of homeownership since 1960. We're proud to support the community we work and live in. That's why we take so much pride in providing competitive rates,
We are back in set number 4. The Patriots just started off with a strong serve. Absolutely nailed by Naomi Noble from the back row. Patriots able to get the ball back over to the Wolfe County Bobcats. Right off the gate, Betty Vaughn, like this is just a lot of energy and a lot of ball movement.
There's been some very good volleys. You just don't expect that this early.
No.
But this is also 2 teams that want to win.
They see each other quite a few times throughout the year, every season, and it's always a good game. Always. Yes. And this season, I feel like it's going to be one of the better matches between the two every time they play.
Right. I know when I coached which I had good games with everybody, but me and Beth, us and Ben was always games. It was like rival games.
Yeah, always good. Which, of course, for you and Beth, it was always in the same district.
Exactly, exactly.
And just a county away from each other, and then Wolfe County in the same region. That was all you, Letcher County, and Wolfe was always 2 of the top ones to beat in the region.
And now you have other teams that are catching up. And
right.
It's making it much more interesting. There's more competition now. Of course, I know everybody knows I like to win, but you like to have more. You like to see there's more competition in this sport for kids who love the game.
Well, you're not going to get better if you don't play against people that are better.
And you've got to take some losses to get better.
Right. Coach Grigsby, he always, in his grade school team, he'll take his grade school team out and play teams out of the county. He wants to play teams that push his team to be better.
I know when I coached grade school, he always brought his kids, and we played every year twice, or sometimes 3 times.
You always want that competition, that healthy competition. Be able to play against a team that does things different.
Exactly. And you can practice every day, and it's not like playing one ball game.
Nope. Waddell able to knock that one to the back row. Oh. Pollard took a dive into the net on that one. Just a little bit too much momentum for her.
It was, but the libero had the right idea. She was passing it away from her to give Pollard a chance to hit.
Right. A little bit of a questionable ball on the line.
That's a nice up. So
Beautiful.
you should get a. That's what happens. You get a nice up, you get a nice set, which gives you a chance to hit the ball.
Right. Love to see those perfect passes.
I think Waddell on her receiving, I think she's standing up maybe a second too early.
Yeah. Oh.
That was a good shot from.
Yeah, Miller knew it too.
Yes.
Just a little bit too far left on that one.
And that's just the more you play, the more you understand how to adjust your body to receive that hit.
Right.
You have to be face to face with that hitter.
And something that frustrates me so bad is I still play in the Sportsplex season, and obviously I'm out of shape and I'm a lot older than what I was when I played in high school. But I get so aggravated because I can read the ball. I've seen a lot of balls hit. I've seen, I played a lot, and I can read it, but my body isn't there.
Exactly.
And there's nothing more frustrating than
Right.
like what Miller just went through. She seen it was going there, but she wasn't quite there in time.
Exactly.
And wasn't able to dig that ball up.
Well, I just think her body probably was not set to move forward. She
Right.
was braced to hit.
Yep.
And she just couldn't move. I like both teams are still swinging. Both teams are still blocking. To me, I love that. I love to see a team that plays the net.
Right, especially in the fourth set.
Exactly.
Like you were talking about earlier, need to see who was getting tired first, who would get wore out the fastest. And so far, I don't think either teams are really showing any kind of weakness on that front.
They're both playing extremely hard still. You're going to see which team's going to stay with their game plan. And volleyball, to me, is like basketball and everything. You have a game plan. You got to stick to it.
Right.
If you practice a day or two, you know who you're playing. You know what you're playing against, what you're trying to avoid. And, so you can't let the other team change your game plan.
Right, and like you said, you got to know who you're playing against. I think that's something that I know that Ben does. I know that he likes to study who he's going to be playing against and see who's the strongest players, who's the weakest players, who puts up the most points in a game. Stats don't say everything.
No.
But they give you an idea.
I agree.
And I think the Patriots have also been doing that. They try to kind of pick out who they need to look at and figure out what they need to do against this team in practice before they actually play.
And that's why the sport of volleyball is getting better.
Yep. The passion's there. Everybody's putting in the work there. You see a lot more money going into the programs around here.
Yes.
You see a lot more televised volleyball games. And like Hometown 24, they're so kind to put this on for the people that don't get to come out to the games. And to have us come out and commentate it so that people that want to watch these kids play actually understand what's going on. Because a lot of people that come, they're just like, oh, my cousin's playing, my daughter's playing, and they come out to play, but they don't fully understand until somebody breaks it down for them.
Well, and you have people say, oh, all they do is hit it over the net. There's a lot more than just hitting it over the net. These kids are really, really pushing. I mean, their positions have to be right. Their hands have to be right. You cup a hand a little bit, 30 degrees to the left, the ball goes left. So.
Right. Both teams are really fighting for this fourth one.
Yes.
The Patriots didn't come out quite as strong in the fourth set as Wolfe County has. But I think we're going to see a lot of momentum changes and a lot of changes in the score going back and forth between who's ahead and who's not.
Yes.
Rivero attempted to hit that one, got it over the net. Waddell tried to cut that one down the court. If she would have cut that one just a little bit more toward the net, there was not a soul nowhere near it. I'm not even sure that – was that blocked, Betty Vaughn?
No, it hit the net.
That's what I thought.
And I think she was too far up. She was caught in that no man's land. She was too far up to swing, and she swung over her head.
Yep, needed to be farther back.
Which makes your arm short, which makes the ball short.
Yep. Knott County really needs to get a change of momentum right now if they want to take this fourth set.
Yeah, it's 11-3 Wolfe, and it's all Wolfe's. Everything's going Wolfe's way right at the moment.
Knott is just making mistake after mistake.
Yeah, right now they need to get a ball in to make Wolfe play.
They just one good thing.
Yeah.
They just need one good point.
Right.
really, I feel like after they get out of this rotation, that might fix a lot of their problems.
Right. You've got your libero back in now. When she's in the game, these two liberos cover that back. That's 30 feet. They cover that back.
Yep.
That's 30 feet nobody else has to worry about.
Right. Ginger Johnson trying to find a hole on that one, but she only found Zoe Miller. Just a little too far out of bounds. So it was a really good job from the bench of the Patriots and from Stidham for following that ball out and making sure it was out before they let it hit the ground. Beautiful serve from Stidham. Wolfe able to knock that back over. Yeah, beautiful dump.
See, now both teams are trying to mix it up.
Right.
To make the other team play defense. So, excuse me, now you're going to see your athletes step up.
Right.
Now it's becoming a mental game. Everybody's trying to change it up, do something new, make them move.
Johnson caught Pollard sleeping, but Pollard is able to move those long arms over there.
Exactly right.
I can't believe how quick she moved it. It keeps replaying in my head. She was just standing straight up waiting on a school bus, and Bill Grigsby would say that all of a sudden she pops it up with her big long arms.
That sounds like Bill Grigsby.
Yeah. So what are you doing? You standing waiting on a school bus. My grandma could have got that ball. I wish he'd write a book. I would buy it. I would promote it. I'd make an Etsy shop and sell it.
Coaches and teachers need to make a book of things that they've seen, heard, said.
Yes.
You can make good money.
Absolutely. Another great pass from the libero. Oh.
And that was a double hit because the ball rolled sideways.
Yep.
You have a lot of referees, if they hear a noise from that setter, they'll call it automatically. They don't even have to look at the ball.
Yep.
If they listen for the noise.
And even though Robert, he's pretty strict, I still like playing under him because he is so fair in what he does.
Exactly right. He calls it both ways. Whatever
he
calls, both teams are going to get it.
I know a lot of teams don't like that, but you're supposed to be doing what it says in the rule book anyway.
Well, if you want your team to get better, you want them to play by the rules.
Yeah, and like you said, you go to these other regions like 15th region, if it just barely moves, it's not gonna fly. They're gonna call it.
Exactly. And they really don't care what you have to say about it.
Right.
But that's why teams get better. You've got to get out of here and let these teams experience different referees. They've got to experience different types of play.
Different referees see the way other teams play their serve receive, play their defense, their offense. Not everybody does the same thing, and especially out of this region, everybody does stuff different.
And when you get to Lexington and you get down there, I used to go down there, and my centers would be 5'9", and their setters would be 6'1".
Yep.
And then,
massive.
You've got to play against that. You've got to decide how are you going to just get to play against that.
Right.
You have to have a lot of heart to play.
Yep. Kind of waiting for Coach Cornett to call a timeout. Surprised that she hasn't already. I think she's trying to get her team to pick themselves up out of this deficit they're in.
Yes, Wolfe is 15-8 right now in the fourth game.
There's that change of momentum. If they can just take this and run with it, that would be really good for the Patriots.
I tell you what, Kevin and I we would get behind like this, and he'd say, call timeout, and I'm like, no, they dug their hole, they get themselves out of a hole.
Coach Justice done that to us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta dig deep. You got to get out of it.
Yep. Whoa. It's Patriots' chance to get rid of this ball. Oh, yeah. That was just barely out of bounds. Yeah. No, that was out. That was out, Ben.
I didn't see anybody touch that ball.
No, there's no touch. That was out. I mean, that was close.
It was.
That was out.
Because if somebody touches it, the rotation of the ball will move.
Right. It moves direction.
Yes.
I wish that would be something that I don't know that all of the referees always tell that to the line judges. That's something they need to look for as well.
Exactly.
And I don't think the line judges always know, too, that you're supposed to, like on this far side, you're supposed to watch the pin.
Exactly.
I don't know if they've always.
I don't
because
think they go over
the refs, they're at the net. They don't always see the pin.
Right. I'll grant you Johnson's still swinging hard in the fourth game.
Yeah, she is. She has not let down at all. She's tried to change it up a little bit, but as far as actually swinging hard and being able to execute her swing, she hasn't let up at all. Yeah. I couldn't see that one. Did you see that one?
I could not. I can't. I never did.
Oh. I told you earlier, Robert won't put up with that.
No, he doesn't.
Coach Cornett's trying to keep everybody calm and relaxed.
Right now is when you, as the other coach, you fire your team up.
Yep.
It is 12-16 Wolfe, and Knott is getting ready to serve.
I wish we had a camera on and stuff for like that for a instant replay.
Right.
It had to be in. Robert called it in from the stand.
Yeah, and this line judge is standing right here.
Yeah, she was watching it.
That's just being a coach. You're trying to get the momentum shifted back to your team.
Right. I mean, the Patriots are coming up. They've come up 4.
Yes.
In a row.
That was a smart play by Zoe to move that ball to the opposite side away from all the defense.
Right. Everybody was looking for Pollard.
Yes.
Pollard's a big hitter, hard hitter. Everybody's trying to cover her. You want to keep it on the other side of the court.
Yeah, that was a great job by the libero coming up and picking that ball up.
The Patriots are doing really good being able to move that ball. Now that they've hit Waddell on the outside so many times, they're probably going to have to change their defense back over to Pollard.
I will give it to Wolfe. They are trying to move the ball to the right-hand side.
Yep.
I think they were doing it thinking they could catch Knott County off guard and make them change their defense.
Yep, but it was just not working.
No.
Patriots have got their momentum back. They're really working on trying to bring themselves out of this hole that they've dug.
Well, and Knott has always, they've been blocking all night, both sides.
Right.
So it's not like they don't block left and right.
Right. Beautiful pass. And those, I think people underestimate how hard it is to pass those that are right on the attack line because they come at you so quick and you've got to have that control to be able to pass it to your setter and not overpass it at the net. I would rather have one deep and hard than to have one short and not even that fast on the front row just because it's more difficult to pass without overpassing it.
Yeah, this is like I said, I call it a 3-second game. You got 3 seconds.
Right. And the closer you are to the net, the less reaction time you have.
Exactly. That was a nice up.
Oh.
See, 22 just got caught standing and couldn't go left or right or up or back.
Yep.
It's 18-15 Wolfe.
Noble with a good serve. Deep to the back row.
See, that's the ball you want to work on. Even though that ball, it was an up ball, it wasn't a great pass, that next person's got to get that ball. Instead of just hitting it up, you really want to work on trying to get it to one of those hitters to hit the ball.
Right, get that out-of-system play going.
And by the end of the season, that should be coming.
Yep. That was what we worked on our out-of-system play drills. You find a hitter. It doesn't matter where it's at on the court, you find a hitter.
And you take, it may be not a great pass, but you want to make a good set out of it and give somebody a chance to hit.
Yeah, you want to stay away from free balls.
Yeah.
Free ball is just what it is. You know, what it is, free. Anybody can hit it. It's an easy pass over to the other side of the net.
And if you're playing a really good team and you free ball, you're beat.
Yep.
You may be a good team, but if you're having one of those off nights and you're free balling, you're beat. That was a nice up.
Back out to Waddell. Hit that off to the right side of her body. Patriots able to knock that up and get that back over. Blocked at the net. Said somebody was in the net.
They
though.
were, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really fault that. That's just playing hard.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen.
Sometimes that happens.
It does.
I've done it plenty of times.
I started saying to the best of them, they'll get in the net.
Yeah. I've had a whole arm over the net before, a whole elbow gets stuck up there. Don't realize how high and how close I am and end up taking the net down with me.
And see, that was a smart play by Chloe. If you're going to free ball, you free ball. I always said free ball to the back.
Yep.
Make them hit it twice.
Because it's a free ball. And
Exactly.
for one, they're
Exactly.
expecting it to be hit. They're not expecting it to be easy over to the back. There's that timeout from Coach Cornett. Patriots are down 4 now, but they can still come up in this. They can still take set number 4.
Yeah, these games have been, like I said, they've been back and forth every game so far.
Coach Ben is really trying to get his team fired up, trying to tell them, you only got to push out these 4 points, and then we get to go home.
Right.
Surprised it isn't a little bit louder during this. Usually somebody's always hollering.
Sure.
I know Beth, Coach Justice, you could always hear her screaming. You could always hear you talking too, though. You were both loud talkers.
Well, I like to let everybody know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Or what we weren't doing.
Yeah.
No.
Just have a lot of passion for it.
Yeah, you do. You really, really do. And you as a coach know what your kids can do.
Right.
And you're sitting there and you know they're not to their potential. So, and like I said, you as a coach, you got to know which one you can just look at, which one you can call their name. And there's some you got to get in their face. But
Right.
you love all of them the same.
Right. Patriots just barely got that ball over the net on,
See, that's that honey hole shot.
Yep. Patriots really got to dig deep if they want to take this set. Faith is telling them she's too sweaty. Somebody's got to wipe that stuff up.
Yeah, there's water, perspiration on the floor.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when I was in high school, we never had that. We had old nasty white towel.
Exactly right. Or you got out there with your shoes and wiped it up.
Yeah, it was the shoes most of the time.
Exactly.
You have squeaky shoes for a little bit.
Nice up.
Out of bounds from Wolfe County. This is the Patriots' chance to really turn this set around, especially with a great server like Miller. Overpassed, but miss hit from Wolfe County.
I don't think 66 was exactly sure what she wanted to do with that ball. She knew it was her ball, but
Yep.
sometimes that ball gets real small.
It does, fast, too. I've done that several times. Oh, sleeping on the job between the Miller sisters.
Yeah. It's always just playing a little too far out to get that ball, and Ellie has to play the line in case they tip over the blockers.
I think that's exactly what Coach Cornett was just telling them as well.
I see Ben saying it's okay.
Yep.
You're trying. Kill it.
It was a good
Go get
swing.
It.
It was
Exactly
close.
right.
You can never fault a player for trying to
No.
do what they were, they practice to do, what they're working on, what they're swinging for. Oh.
That was just too low for Pollard to handle.
Yeah, she really needed to roll that one or tip it something. There was no way for her to be able to get that deep in the back row like that.
It's 24-20. Wolf's up, and they're serving.
Patriots really need to dig deep on this one. Pollard absolutely nailed it over to the other side. Wolfe was able to dig it back up.
I like how their defense is playing behind these hitters.
Yep.
If they're getting blocked, they have people there to play that ball.
Trying to make sure that they get every square inch covered.
Exactly.
It's a nice swing. Oh.
So Wolfe wins 25-20. It's 2-2.
So now we will go into a 5th set as Robert calls up both captains. And he sent him over to the other guy. I don't know that other guy yet. He's new.
I don't know him either.
But we are going to take a short break, then we'll be right back with set number 5.
Home sweet home. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we've been providing our friends and neighbors the sweet dream of homeownership since 1960. We're proud to support the community we work and live in. That's why we take so much pride in providing competitive rates, low closing costs, and quick turnaround by local decision makers. Investing and growing our community is what we do. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we believe that there's no place like our home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Just want to watch the game.
That turned on the ceiling fan. Use the gray remote. Hit power, then input.
It's not working.
That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
Some may see you as victims, and no doubt you have lost much and endured even more. But we at KRCC see you as the strong and resilient survivors that you are. And our team stands ready side by side with you as you rebuild your lives and we help rebuild the communities that we all hold so dear. If you need our help, please call KRCC at 1-800-262-7491 or stop by any KRCC location and ask for help. KRCC cares.
When it comes to your family's health care, making the right connection is easy with just a call, click, or visit to one of Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation's clinics serving Eastern Kentucky and Southwest Virginia. Our providers cover the full spectrum of medicine for the whole family, as well as specialty and support services such as pulmonary, optometry, dentistry, and podiatry, plus on-site labs, x-rays, nutritionist, and more. Call today for an appointment or telehealth visit. Now accepting Virginia Medicaid. Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation.
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
We are back with set number 5. The Patriots have the ball. They will be starting off with serve. Set number 1, who did that go to, Betty Vaughn? I don't remember.
Knott County 25-22. Set 2 was Wolfe 25-20. The third set was Knott 25-19. And, of course, the fourth set was Wolfe 25-20.
So we've staggered them. The momentum has went back and forth between each set. And now we'll see who comes out on top.
And I see that Coach Justice has made it into the building. I'm glad to see her.
I figured she'd be here somewhere. I was surprised I hadn't seen her yet.
I hope to get to speak to her when I leave. I haven't seen her in a while.
I'm sure she'll stick around.
That was a nice drop serve right there.
Wolfe County is still bringing out those hard-hitting swings.
Yes.
Naomi Noble keeps limping around, but she doesn't seem to be limping when she's playing during the play. Pollard able to knock that one.
And that was a good shot. Pollard is learning how to move the ball left, right.
Right.
Instead of going straight. I remember when she first started playing, she was hitting straight down the middle. That's an easy play to play.
Right.
Now when you start moving that ball, even though you're running a triangle behind that middle hitter, that center, that's still a hard ball to play.
The angles are absolutely terrible to try to adjust to, especially whenever Pollard's in the middle and she's just picking wherever she wants to go.
Right.
It's hard to figure out whose ball that is because it's cutting between 2 or 3 different people by the time it gets to the back. And it's just the positioning's different. And it's so hard to deal with your coverage when it's coming at an angle.
Yes. And when you have a middle that can adjust left, right, it's hard to play them.
Yep, they hit it wherever you're not. And that's 9 times out of 10, if they can hit both sides, then they can pick which side they want to hit from and which side you're not on, and they will hit which side you're not on.
And like I said, when I coached, we always ran, I called it a triangle around the center. Well, you can run that triangle, but if you have a gap, they're going to hit it.
Right.
And then you've got that middle ball that you call the honey hole, that's the weak spot. You know, you've got to cover that spot. So.
Good serve from Hatmaker.
That's a nice set.
It's a good hustle from number 14 for Wolfe County, Sarah Moore.
Yeah, it was just pulled out of the net just a little too far. They're doing their job. They're coming over here and they're backing those hitters because they're getting blocked now.
Right.
So they're being able to play that block ball.
So far, the Patriots are coming out a lot stronger than they have in any of the other sets. They've already got a 4-0 lead. Nice deep ball to the back row. I wish Faith would have been able to hit a corner on that one. They would have most definitely got a point.
Yes, and that's what you work on. So by the end of the year, a free ball has to have a certain place to go.
Right.
To me, you don't just hit a free ball. You've got to hit it somewhere. It's free, but you've got to hit it where they're not.
Right. Coach White just took Naomi Noble out of the game. Put in number 5, Rayleigh Land.
From my perspective of the game, I think Knott has played the net much stronger tonight than Wolfe has.
I agree with that.
Maybe Wolfe doesn't need to play the net that strong, but I honestly think that Knott is much stronger on the net right now. Which, if it's a close ball, Knott will get it.
Right.
See, that was a great play. She goes up, and all she does is twist her hand.
Right.
She twists her her wrist left or right, and moves the ball.
So much you can do with that little movement.
Oh, yes.
Knott Central is really just getting into the minds of Wolfe County right now, really defeating their mentality. And you can see it all over their faces and just the way that they're playing. They're getting tired and they're giving up.
Yes.
They're down 8-0 in a game that only goes to 15. Patriots just lost their first point of this set. This might be the shift in momentum that Wolfe County is looking for.
Yes, because they have their big hitter serving and their big hitter on the front line.
Right.
Now's when Knott they've got to play. They can't worry about the score. That was a nice up. That's what you got to do. You got to use your money man when it comes down to it.
Right.
Nice up. These Liberos have played a super game in my game book.
Yep.
That was a double hit by the setter.
I remember a time when I was in high school that we didn't use a libero.
Right.
And now that all these teams, you even see grade school teams, they have the capability, the talent, and just the practice to be able to use these liberos. It is such a blessing to have them in the back row.
And that gives that player a special, they know what their job is. They are to play defense.
Right. Johnson trying to bring her team back up out of this deficit, and so far she's doing so good.
Yeah, this
she
is
served
where
3 in a row.
Yeah, Knott's got to just get together, and they've got to play their ball.
Yeah, I think they've got in their heads a little bit too much. You know, they were up 8-0, and they really need to just settle down and get the ball up.
And I will tell you that Johnson's got some nice movement on that ball.
Absolutely. Some terribly nasty serves. Right now, I'd say this is anybody's game.
And both coaches right now are they're pumping their teams up right now.
Yep.
Wolfe is telling his team, you're on the road coming back, momentum's on your side. And Shay's got to be telling her team, we've got to play our ball, and we got to get the ball back.
Right. And I know what helps the Patriots a lot is having that pep section, which when you go over to Wolfe County's always got a pretty good pep section too. Your home team always has a good pep section. And that's something that you have to face whenever you're an away team and you're coming to somebody's gym to play, is you have to play with all their mommies and poppies.
Exactly.
Everybody that they bring from their family cheering for their baby, and you got to deal with the pep section. And
I was always blessed. We always had a pretty good travel group that went with us.
You did.
But, you know, we always talked about that in practice. You're going to hear that, you know it's going to be loud.
Yep.
You're not listening to them. We've got to stay on the floor. You don't listen to the crowd.
Right. That's the best thing you can do being on that court is just tuning everything else out. Nothing else matters but what's on the court.
And you really have to work at that. That's not a gimme. You've got to really – it's got to be a mindset. You're worried about the floor, not other people.
Right.
You know, I'd have players or so-and-so in the bleachers just saying something. And you need to sit down because you're paying more attention to the bench, to the bleachers, than you are the game.
Right. That was a big pet peeve of mine.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
They're just a second late. She's going to hit the ball.
Yep. She nails them every time.
Yeah, now you're 9-7, Knott, Wolfe's up the serve, so you're right back. Both teams are right back in the game.
And again, this game's only going to 15. This is the fifth set. It's best 3 out of 5 on varsity most of the time. The fifth set goes to 15. Every other set goes to 25. You only have a little over half a set.
Right. And that was a smart play by Pollard. She just went up and just knocked it off the side of their hands.
It's a great tactic to use, especially when you realize that they're not turning their hands in the way that they're supposed to be. Just use their own defense against them.
And this is, as a coach, you want these games.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to lose, but you want these games that your teams really have to work to win.
Absolutely. You want the ones that build character.
Yes. You grow so much with these games right here.
There's a lot of things that you learn. You learn where you struggle at. You learn where you do well at.
Exactly.
You learn how other teams do their coverage. You learn how to see where other teams are at in their coverage during the game.
And you're going to see if you have a weak rotation, you'll find it.
Right.
So you've got to work on how you're going to fix that.
Waddell just barely hit that ball. Somebody really needs to put this ball away.
Right.
And that is exactly what Bentley done for the Patriots. Knocked it over to Johnson. Just couldn't dig that ball up for Wolfe.
And to me, as a setter, you've got to be able to front set and back set.
Right.
You've got to know where those big players are and let them have it.
That was a huge mistake from Wolfe County's libero. She hasn't made very many this game.
No, she has not. But that was a bad one. You're at the end of the game. That's not a mistake. You make that early in the game, it's okay.
Yep, and especially to somebody that's such a hard hitter like Faith Pollard in the front row.
Yes. Which that mistake's not going to be what loses the ball game if they,
Absolutely not. It's never any one mistake that loses a game.
No. You remember the last one, but that's not the one that lost the game.
Right. And that's something that really needs to be instilled in the players, too.
Totally.
Is that no one thing or no one person, most of the time,
loses a game.
Right. It's always a team effort.
Yes.
You win together, you lose together. It's a really good adjustment by Pollard to slow that ball down as they were expecting a hard hit. She didn't get to fully extend her arm on that one.
No, that ball's got to be set higher to Pollard. She's got to be able to go get it.
Yep, she tried to cut that one down, and she couldn't get that one lined out where she needed it.
But I like both teams are still playing the game. That was a good serve.
Not exactly sure what Sloan was thinking on that one. That was in bounds by about 2 feet.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I can't tell. I never do. That's why I never call the line. I can't tell, so.
I wasn't 100% sure. I couldn't tell.
No.
Either way, obviously Ben's going to be upset because now
that's you
Patriots,
as a coach, right?
Yeah.
You as a coach. If you're behind, you're going to question that call.
Right. I don't even know what it was. It looked pretty close to me.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Whatever the top ref says is
That's
what
it.
it goes.
Exactly. You just growl about it and then you go on and play.
Right. I think the Patriots are probably feeling pretty good right now. They don't need to feel too good.
No.
They just need to finish this game out if they want to take this win.
And that's it. They've got to get the ball in play to give Wolfe County a chance to mess up.
Right.
And then be ready to play defense. Because I can't see Wolfe laying down. They're going to play as hard as they can play.
Absolutely not. They are not a team that just gives up.
Like I said, you figure unless something drastic happens, these two teams will be two of your top 5 teams in the region.
See. Hit it back out to Noble. Bit of an overpass.
Right, and, of course, number 8 knew what to do with it. That's what I don't think they've been doing that the whole game. I think they've been waiting to play that ball.
Yeah.
And she's decided, I'm going to get it.
They're gearing it up a notch now. They know that they've got to push these points out because it's game point for the Patriots. Any one little mistake, and the Patriots win. Motions are really high right now. Ball just so happens to go out of bounds, and the Patriots take this set against Wolfe County.
They do. It was a great game on both parts.
Absolutely. The Patriots win 3-2 against Wolfe County, went into 5 sets, and beat them 15-11. We've seen a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of great passes, great sets, great hits, and a lot of good serves.
Yes, and you've seen a lot of nice volleys throughout the ball game, all the ball game.
Absolutely. I was very impressed, which you kept saying how good they're playing so early in the season.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what both these teams have for the rest of the season.
Well, and you have to look at their schedule and see what their rating is. I mean, if they're playing harder teams, they're going to get better.
Right.
If you've got a weaker schedule, I'm sorry to say your improvement's not going to be as well as everybody else's is.
Yeah, you got to play the best to be the best. I've always heard that, and it's 100% true.
That's what I say. You play the best to be the best.
Right. Well, we thank everybody for listening with us tonight, and we hope that you'll come back again and listen to the next game that we commentate. Thank you, Betty Vaughn, for coming out and doing this with me. I really didn't want to do it by myself, and I'm so glad that you came out. I love hearing your perspective and just having you help me to understand more from a coaching side because I always loved playing against your teams, and it's just been a really great experience coming out and doing this game tonight.
I appreciate it. I've had a great time.